start by first playing the name game. My name is Lizzy Egbert. I will be the MC. And now we're gonna find out. We were talking backstage.
You're on a rope.
I know I'm on a rope. Here, let's see if I can. Oh, dang it didn't work. What are your names? Who are you? What are your affiliates with this show? We just didn't know backstage. We kind of want to know.
Wow, do we have to tell you?
Oh, there's a mystery audience! All right, hands up, mystery audience! How mysterious.
We're safe. We're alums. I'm here working in the admissions office.
Oh, yay! All right. Well, I anticipate that we have a very funny show. I haven't heard a lot of material, but what I have heard is hilarious.
You can do it, Swizz.
Okay, first up we have Nathan, and Nathan will be talking to us about Nathan stuff.
Yeah, I got plenty of that.
All right.
All right. So, any of you who saw my my stand-up routine last time know that I believe strongly in small-town government having a lot of corruption. It makes things more interesting. It really does. You know, bring back Lee Lansing. But those of you who aren't on the same boat with me, I just want to point something out. Last week, I was looking at the Northfield News, and the front page, below the fold, ran the following story. It was, "Cat found 75 miles from its home." This is the front page. Right? So, I've got an alternate headline. It's, "Northfield so boring that missing pets are considered front page news." See, that's why we need corruption. I thank God that Richard Nixon isn't alive to see that. It would break his heart. So, speaking of lying, pets cause this weird dynamic because when a pet dies, a parent doesn't want to sort of confront their child with mortality. So instead they have to lie and they say, "Oh no, the dog's fine. Yeah, he went to live on the farm so he can run free and you know play with all his other animal friends." And I gotta say, like, why doesn't the kid say, well, Mom, if there's this farm option available for the dog, why did we keep him cooped up in our tiny urban apartment? Right? There's not really space for an animal, and like now the dog's arthritic and blind. It's not going to be able to enjoy that farm. Like, this is cruel. What kind of a system is this, Mom? Right? And so not believable. But what if I thought to myself, what if parents did this for everything? Right? What if a kid comes home and says, "Mommy, where's Grandpa?" And the mom says, well, son, he moved to this place. He's got lots of green golf courses to play on, and he's got lots of friends to walk around the mall with. And wait a sec. My grandparents didn't move to Florida. They're dead. Okay. I'm okay. I'm okay because I know about thinking positive. So when the unexpected things happen, you have to just look at them in a good light. You can't let them get you down, right? So I use the element of surprise to make my life feel a lot better. So here's some good examples of how you can do this too. So for instance, if you're driving and you run out of gas and you have to walk back to get more gas, that's surprise exercise. It's a lot better, It's better already. If you live in Burden and you find out there are animals living in your walls, that's not an infestation. That's surprise pets. If you get fired from your job, you're on a surprise vacation. And if you get pregnant, well, now you've got a surprise friend. So yes, speaking of bad news, everyone keeps talking about this recession. I've been trying to ignore it, stay positive, but I come to realize that I do have to change the way I live my life a little bit. And fortunately, I'm an expert because I've lived my whole life until I went to college with my grandmother. She's 90 now, and she lived through the Great Depression. So I've been watching her, and I know how to do this, right? So for instance, she doesn't throw anything out. We've got bananas in the house that are browner than I don't know, and she keeps them because I've learned you can use things that seem to have gone bad for other things, like banana bread. You make it out, the brown. It's okay. So I've taken this to heart, and I don't delete files on my computer. You never know when they'll come in handy. So don't clear that recycle bin. And for instance, another thing, instead of throwing clothes out after they get ripped, she'll fix them. A novel concept, right? But I've taken this to heart, and I don't buy pre-ripped jeans anymore. I distress all my clothes personally. It's just more economical that way. Every penny counts. And speaking of changing my priorities, I've been noticing some weird priorities at Carleton lately. For instance, does it strike anyone else as odd that people would put up all these posters advocating conservation? I'm for it, but you can't send an email. It'd be like if I was trying to, protest cruelty to animals, so I branded my slogan onto a herd of cows. The heart is not in the right place. Something that sort of bothered me when I got back, if you all remember, there was the ice storm and everything covered in ice. And everyone's slipping, but lo and behold, the mini Zambonis are all working on the ice rinks, right? And people say, Nathan, well, that's because if you don't get the snow off the ice rink right away, it'll be whatever. Okay, so I figured it out. The grounds people just wanted to play broom ball everywhere. That was what that was all about. So I guess that was clever of them. Okay, here's one. Have you guys been to the snack bar late at night? Yeah. Yeah, I know, right? It's tiresome. But I don't know who's doing the hiring there because they've got like two people who work there I see all the time. They've got your kindly but a little bit senile grandmother and your sullen asshole cousin. Yeah, he doesn't make eye contact. You know who I'm talking about. It's that cousin who your mom says, oh yeah, he's going to turn his life around. I hear he's going back to college, but you know better. Alright, so speaking of family, my mom said I left some comic books at home and she said she'd mail them, right? And it's been too long. But her excuse is, Nathan, it's too cold outside. I live in New York, okay? So it's 10 degrees here, it's 40 degrees there. It's too cold. That would be like if it was summer here and I told my friend who lives in the volcano it was too hot for me to send him something. Right? It's too cold. So comic books aren't the only thing I collect. I also collect toys, which you notice action figures. If you came into my room, it's quite the sight. But it's a sort of a hobby of mine, and I say sort of because it's not really a hobby. It's collecting is a very nice way of saying I buy shit. Right?
Addiction.
That's not a hobby, right? And if you're an avid collector, that just means you have to buy all the shit. Right? That's just what this means.